After the blogs were set up, then we created the assignment in Canvas, and we did all the interlinking between them. So we had the Canvas site linking to the class blog site, the class blog site with links on it back to the Canvas site, and links to the course technical pages, and just to try to create that network so that wherever a student was, they could get to wherever they needed to go, within 1 or 2 clicks. And then the final step was setting up the peer reviews in Canvas, and Susie handled that work. So just a basic overview of our communication process. Susie is on campus once or twice a week, and so we met in person many times. We did a lot of email and a lot of phone, and if you ever try doing technical help on a phone, you get a lot of, okay, do you see this menu item? No, it's in the lower left. Okay, click on that. What do you get? Oh, you see that? I don't see that. And it's very difficult to talk through doing technical help on the computer. So we started using TeamViewer, especially since it was a lot easier for me to go in and just click on the things that needed to be clicked on and edit the settings in order for the class blog to work. We would make each other administrators to the blog, so I could get in and help whenever needed. So we do TeamViewer, but then lately we've just been doing Zoom. Since we've got our process refined, we've done about 6 iterations of this blog. It's about 6 quarters. So we got our process refined pretty well, and now we'll just Zoom with each other and share our screens, because it's still really valuable to be able to see each other's screen if you're trying to describe what you see or what issue you're having, and etc. So assessment, I divided assessment up into 2 sections here. One is assessment of the assignment itself. How did Susie assess the students? And then the other is just how did Susie and I assess our process and the whole class blog process as a whole. So first we'll talk about the assignment. Essentially it was done continuously throughout the quarter, so it's a formative assessment strategy where she would actually supply feedback to the posts themselves by writing comments, and those would be public facing for other students to see, but then she would also write private comments through Canvas that was just for the student to see. It was mainly qualitative, so she was looking at how were they applying the new knowledge, how were they analyzing each other's experiences, and applying them to their own experiences and things like that. So she did have a rubric, but the rubric was quite simple. You can see it off to the right there in SpeedGrader view. And speaking of which, the blogs would show right up in SpeedGrader. If you're familiar with SpeedGrader in Canvas, you could click on the student's name, the blog shows up, she could read the blog, she's got the rubric right there, can give the points, put in the comments, all right there, go on to the next student. Really quite slick. So that was assessing the students. When we're evaluating the whole process, we would get through the term and we would see what were some of the stumbling blocks. We'd identify what worked well, what didn't work well, get some student feedback. Some student feedback is, in general, they love to read each other's blog posts, but they find writing the post tedious. So imagine that. We would work towards how to improve the experience for the students and how to improve for the instructor's workflow as well. I had no formal evaluation process here. Basically, we just take notes, and through our email conversations, we keep ideas to set up when we set it up for the next quarter. This is just an example, a screenshot of a student's blog, how they changed the template and got creative. Some have experience and they get into it and they can post images and get creative with it, while others a little bit less so. Here's another student example. A nice simple template. They just didn't figure out how to change the byline to their blog site. Just another Western Washington University WordPress site. That's the default. However, still, it's good to see them diving in and taking it on when they want to. So some of the lessons learned. What did we learn from this? Again, I split it into two here, the process and about the assignment itself. So I talked to Susie about this. I told her I was going to present this, and she was excited for me about that. So she gave me full permission to share this, but she's learned that she needs to demand more from on academic accuracy, including citations, that she needs to provide examples of spectacular blog posts, that we need to maintain providing good instruction, that there's a misconception out there that students, youth, are automatically good with technology, when the reality is that many students struggle with technology. And so we need to keep that in mind and not assume that they can just do it really easily, but provide clear instructions. And she continues to encourage creativity. The process side, we basically learned that we need to keep it focused on the content, keep the students focused on the content as much as possible. That's the point. That's why they're there. They're not there to learn about the technology, but they're there to learn about teaching English as speakers of other languages. So technology to be used as a tool rather than being a barrier. And then we also learned about our planning and our to allow more time at the beginning of the quarter, to start the process earlier, to make appointments with each other, to set deadlines, and to set expectations and roles for each other. Who's going to provide what? Who's going to do what work? So we've been redoing this process almost every quarter, and it's been getting better each time. So let's take a closer look. I've got a sample class blog site here, and this is actually a WordPress site that's live that I had started when we were first beginning it. I was like a test site, and so there's only 3 students in here, and they're all my other WordPress sites that I've got. I made a test student account. I got my actual WordPress site, and I was working on a portfolio for the nursing program, so showing them how WordPress could be used as a portfolio for the nursing program. Different story. Anyhow, this is kind of what the site looks like. We picked a simple template. Susie likes that calm, Zen sort of feeling. And this blog is not actually used as a blogging site itself. It's really just a landing page for all the other students. So when you get here, you see there's the class blogs, and below that is a list of all the other student blogs in the class. So if I click on that, this is a blog here. That's one of my test ones. Here's another student blog. Okay. And so on. I'll show you the nursing portfolio example, but it has nothing to do with nursing. It's just a bunch of me and some random stuff. So like videos, I can embed videos into the WordPress site. This is the default template for students too. It's this railroad track. Anyhow, so yeah, you could get to any student's blogs really easily there and read their posts and write their comments. And then on this main page here, I've got links back to instructions on how to do the peer review. Here's a link back to the course technical instructions. And you can see I've got some videos. That video actually plays. It looks like it wouldn't, but it does. There's PDF files here, links to the Canvas guides. We also did some other things in our class, recording group discussions, using video conference tools, uploading media, having students create some short videos, doing a PowerPoint presentation, etc. This just takes them back to the home page. So you can see here I set up a home page for Susie with these big blue buttons, and those just kind of make it feel more like a website where it's really obvious where to click, but you can get to the course technical instructions here, the class blogs there, resource pages, links to the syllabus and the assignments, etc. And then I have a link to our to the Western Online.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to...
Oops, I'll pause that. The Western Online WordPress tutorials. It's a playlist I made of all these little tutorials here where you can set up, go through the setup, privacy settings, appearance, themes, pages, menus, etc. So that's if students want to dive in a little bit more. Anyhow, on the, yeah, that's basically the Canvas, WordPress blog assignment. So it's Q&A time. Are there any questions? Thank you for watching my presentation. Just a side note, all the images are either labeled for reuse with links there to all the sources, or they're screenshots from my own computer. Thank you.